Hell yeah. Welcome back to the Foamy Heads. You're on the mic with Mitch and Rich today, and we are drinking beer already. Well, I'm drinking beer already. Mitch, are you drinking beer already?
I did have one earlier. I had a really disappointing beer earlier. It was Einstock. It's that beer with a Viking on it. I think it's a Viking, if I'm remembering right. Well, this one, it's different. It's lime and juniper berries. It's kind of like potpourri in a beer.
I don't know about that.
It's not great, but I bought it and I'm getting through it. And it's like a real easy sipper, 4% or something. So it's not my cup of tea, but it definitely tastes like one.
I'm curious. I'm interested because Einstock beers are kind of I don't know how I want to say this, but Einstock beers are like hey, if you're going to have a craft beer from another country, Einstock is kind of one of those places you want to start at because they have their wit beer, they've got their porter, like their toasted porter, and their beers are just very good. Not to mention the water itself, comes from their homeland, and it tastes better. It's like glacier water. It just seems to taste better. So I'm very curious as to which one you have, because the only ones I've ever had from Einstock is like the toasted porter. I've had their pale ale, and then of course I've had their wit beer, and then they have a summer beer which is like a berry fruit passion kind of beer that's real easy drinking. But from the sound of it, it doesn't sound like that's the one that you were drinking.
No, I'm pulling up their site so you can see it too, but this one's yellow. It's got a yellow can. I forget the picture they got. They changed up his garb too. It's not the helmet with the horns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got another can I'll grab.
I will say I'm not familiar with Einstock, a lot of Einstock recently, just because, well, I haven't been drinking a lot of their beers. I've been focused more locally. Okay, Icelandic lime and juniper pilsner.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I just found it on Untapped, Mitch.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I just did a search on the brewery for Einstock, and I see yellow can, kind of a guy with a beard, and it's got a top hat on him, and it's kind of a side profile.
They say it evokes a gin and tonic kind of flavor, and I disagree. But I haven't had a plethora of gin and tonic. I've made my own gin and tonics. Like I've had one that was pre-mixed in a can, so that's pretty cool. And I don't remember what that tasted like. It was all right, but I usually use like a botanical gin and go from there. If you want to use I think it was like Indian water. I can't remember the exact name of it, but anyway, there's that one. I go for the more herbal kind of gin most of the time, botanical.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, this thing was a take on it. And I'm not a fan, but
what prompted you to drink this beer though?
It had a guy in a green hat and beard, and I was like, yeah, I haven't had a weird purchase in a while, so I'll go with it. And Einstock, I've had good Einstock beers, so yeah. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt with this weird lime and juniper. That's what it was. Yeah, lime and juniper. It's just, and I've gotten really back into pilsners too. So
yeah,
it was a hopeful jump or leap into another pilsner, and this is not it.
I think the recent, kind of going back to the fact that you were talking about how you've been getting into pilsners, that's interesting because pilsners historically they're just skunky, bland, hoppy, but not bitter. Or maybe I should say bitter, but not hot. I don't know. They seem to be overcarbonated, skunky beers with not a ton of flavor, but craft beer in general, specifically like American craft brewers, they have taken a boring category of beer and kind of put their spin on things. And I think the one that you've been enjoying the most recent as of late was it a Southern Grist hoppy or hoppy pills or something like that from Southern Grist. I can't remember which one it was that you had.
Southern Crisp. I think that was it. Southern Crisp.
Southern Crisp. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Hoppy Crisp.
That was a really good one too.
A Pilsner from Southern Grist Brewery. It looks like you've checked that in very recently. Nope, never mind. Wasn't Hoppy Crisp.
Yeah, Southern Crisp was the first one they brought back as a Pilsner or made for Pilsner release. And I loved it. It was awesome. And then like 2 or 3 months later, they came out with Hoppy Crisp. That's where I think they dry hopped. I could be wrong, but I think it was a dry hop just to give it that extra little bite. And
yeah,
I loved that one. That's still my favorite Pilsner just because of the hops. And I'm loving hops right now anyway. So stouts are on the back side right now, where I haven't gotten back into stouts yet. But, you know, we've got a Dark Lord and a Brewery Black Tuesday for us to get into. So.
I know. There's not playing Mitch. I could drink a Black Tuesday any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I feel like it needs to be a little bit cooler, whether it's like fall, just a little bit chillier outside. Right now, Mitch, it's hot, it's sticky. Yeah. You know, it's August, it's the end of August, beginning of September, but for some reason it's hot outside. You know, it's humid, and it's still IPA weather and sours. I'll digress. If you're a sour person, this is sour season right now. Or at least it's sour weather. It may not be sour season, but it's sour weather. But this is an IPA weather, Pilsner weather, light beer weather. It's hot outside. You want to drink something refreshing that you can down a few of, or you can have like a hazy Imperial double IPA that's not dark and is super hoppy. That seems to work too.
Well, speaking of sours, this is what I'm going to be drinking. Double fruited blood orange Goza. Goza with it's a Living Waters and No Quarter Pinball and Pints collaboration.
Ooh.
It's called.
I like No Quarters.
Yeah.
And I love Living Waters.
I'll see if the camera will not send it out a picture, but you can see it's got like I can't think of the name of the mythical animal on it. Lion with wings, but manticore-esque. Could be a manticore. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. It's an easy sipper at 4% ABV, and it's rested on Ugandan vanilla. So it's got a nice little body to it. You know, you've got this fruitiness kind of from that blood orange. I don't know if you want to call it fruitiness. I love eating blood oranges. So this one really kicks it into gear for my palate. But it has just enough sourness, enough tart, and then it has that vanilla backbone to it, and it's just kind of a nice palatable Goza. So
I'll say so Living Waters is probably the up and coming, probably one of my favorite breweries in Nashville right now. I love Bearded Iris, Southern Grist. Those are always really good. Tailgate's always really good. And then Living Waters just came out of nowhere and just kind of like, hey, we're a coffee bar, but we're a brewery too. Here's some good brews. And like Rubicon, their stout was amazing, and Yosemite was really good. So I kind of started gravitating towards Living Waters. And then I think the first time I actually saw Living Waters was at No Quarter. Like we were, me and DJ, we met up one day, Mitch. We were going to play some pinball at No Quarter. And I think Zilla Pit Barbecue was going to be there that day. And we were just going to hang out for a while. And I think I saw Yosemite was on tap. And I was very curious as to who Living Waters was. That was my first experience with those guys, was at No Quarter. So it's very interesting that you're sipping on a beer that's from Living Waters, but it's collaboration with like this really unique small dive, like pinball type location that's just hella fun to hang out at.
Yeah, they're like a little trifecta of deliciousness right now.
Yeah.
So, if you follow one, follow the others, and you'll be pretty well kept up to date of when Zilla's being posted up or popping up and delivering very, very good barbecue.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan. Thanks to you, Richard. You got Zilla's one weekend. You're like, hey,
It's so good, man. Zilla's brisket is on point. The rest of his food is really good too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to single out,
yeah,
one of his food groups over the other. His brisket is probably the best brisket that I've had in a while. It's award winning too. I mean, like I know this guy has won multiple awards, but I'd never even heard of the guy until we were at until we were at No Quarter that day, and that was where I got my first experience with Zilla or I should say one of my first experiences with Zilla Pit Barbecue, but it was also my first experience with Living Waters.
Oh, yeah. That's right. God, I'm trying to remember what I had at No Quarters from there, but they had quite a few options there. So I think I had a little bit of everything, even hams.
Uh-huh. Hey, you got a palate cleanser, Mitch.
Well, don't rub on hams too hard there.
Yeah.
No,
Classic.
I'm kidding. It's there's a history there, and it's always fun to see that kind of the beer label itself even survives. So it was. I don't think I know where you could get a hams anywhere else in Tennessee except at No Quarter. So it's pretty cool.
Well, we were in I think it was Knoxville a couple of weeks ago, and I think we did a recording about it, but we were in Knoxville a couple of weeks ago, and we saw, while we were in Sweet Peas Barbecue, which was downtown Knoxville, I think we saw a sign for hams on the wall.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, they had the sign for hams there. I'm having to brush back up or pull through my brain for what hams was. I read the history and talked about it a while back, and it may have been a recording we didn't release, but it was one of those things where I was just really... I got into it after learning a little bit about hams and Miller, essentially. So
yeah.
But I've been sipping on my Goza for a minute. What do you got? What are you drinking?
I'm sipping on. I'll see if I can. Mine's a little bit easier for you because I don't have the background going right now. But so I actually took a trip this weekend to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
We stayed in a little town outside Chattanooga. Kind of had like a nice little log cabin home style, kind of up in the mountains, but 20 minutes, Mitch, from Chattanooga, like from downtown Chattanooga. I mean, we were 25 minutes from Odd Story. We were 25 minutes from Hutton and Smith. It was just 25 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. So Rachel and I and my wife, we took a couple of days and just went into downtown Chattanooga and visited a couple places. We took our newborn to the aquarium just to kind of get his curiosity going, and we went to a couple of breweries, and one of the ones that we ended up at was Wanderlinger Brewing Company. So they are I don't want to call them new, but they're relatively new, Mitch. So they've got a couple of styles of everything there. But I think the one that stood out to me the most, and I actually I bought a crowler of it so I could take it home and drink it for a Thursday evening when I didn't have much going on, but it's called Parrot's Revenge. It's a New England hazy double IPA, sitting at 6.8%. It is good. Like, it is really, really good. I'm having to look it up right now because I don't remember the hops that they used with it. But Mitch, I'm just going to put it up to my camera right now. But this thing is like, it is super, super hazy. It almost looks like, gosh, it's definitely not orange juice. It almost just looks like a dirty, well, I don't know, water. I really don't know. 6.8%. It's super hazy. It's super, I don't want to say dirty is not the word, but
what about murky?
Murky. Thank you. That is exactly the word that I'm looking for. It's murky. It's unfiltered. It's super good. It's thick when you're drinking it. 6.8%. It goes down really easy. It's really good. I literally don't know much more about it because I've tried looking it up and I can't find anything like the hops that they use or anything like that. I just know that it is a solid double IPA, so much to the point where I bought a crowler so I could take back with me and enjoy it on a night like tonight, Mitch.
Nice. Man, what was the name of it again?
The name of the brewery was Wanderlinger, Wanderlinger, Wanderlinger Brewing Company,
Interesting.
and they made an IPA called Parrot's Revenge. It's like an imperial um, New England style IPA. It's at 6.8%. I got to be honest, man, it's an easy drinker for 6.8. It does not taste like one. Of course, 6.8 isn't super heavy, but there's no alcohol taste to it. I mean, it is just straight haze and juicy and thick, and it kind of like stays with you on the back of your mouth when you swallow it.
Oh. Their site's all functional, and they've got 100-day IPA.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think, Mitch, you and I have had that before.
Oh.
I actually looked up because I looked at it and I go, oh, they're running a special on 100-day IPA right now. Combination of classic American hops. I am going to look it up real quick to see where we had it. You know where we were, Mitch? We were at Urban Stack. We must have been visiting Chattanooga that day, and that's where you had it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave it a decent score too.
Yeah, you did. You gave it pretty decent marks, and I think I rated it the same. They still had it. That's kind of like their, I don't want to call it a flagship, but that's one that they brew constantly. So, you know, the fact that we had it back in, well, hold on a second.
It's been a year, I think. Roughly.
Yeah. You had it back in, actually, August 30th, 2019. You were right. It's been almost exactly a year to the day. And I ended up getting a taster of it, and I liked it. But that was one that you ordered while you were at Urban Stack, so that would explain why you had it, because they don't distribute. They distribute in Chattanooga, and they've got a pretty decent footprint. I went to a couple of beer stores, and you know they had certain cans available, but it wasn't, or I should say, certain kegs available, like to take home with you. But it wasn't anything widespread.
Yeah.
But I would drink it again. I totally wish I would have bought more, take it back with me. I picked up a couple, but I really wish I would have had more.
Man, Chattanooga's got a lot of good stuff going on. Odd Story was an odd story for us for 2 years, you know. The first few times we went, the beers just did not really pop for us at all. And this year when I went back, I was looking for a spot. Everything's Corona'd, and I needed something to eat. But I don't know Chattanooga too well when it comes to just like pickup orders or whatever. But Odd Story was social distancing enough to where I could reserve a whole table and still work and have some pizza there. So I ended up going back to Odd Story, and long story short, I enjoyed their beer. So they were doing all sorts of styles now.
I liked Odd Story. I think when you kind of hinted it, you were like, it is kind of an odd story, because my first experience with Odd Story, I want to say it was good. I don't think I would say it was great. But that's no, you know, they were just starting out at the time. So, you know, there's definitely, I give major props to them for continuing to just keep going. I just happened to show up on a day where they were having an anniversary party and they were barrel aging all their beers, and I just was not in the mood for that day. It was hot outside. I wanted an IPA, and that was what I was looking for. And the only thing that I could have gotten that day was a barrel aged anything. They were literally barrel aging everything, Mitch. And that's fine, because I love barrel aged beers. I just kind of felt like at the time when I was there that they might have, I felt like they were kind of catching their ground, trying to figure out what their place was. So I had a few of them, and I'm like, yeah, Odd Story was good. You know, I wasn't disappointed by any means. And then you actually mentioned that I need to go back and try them, because you said, you know, hey, it's been a couple of years. You know, they definitely know what they're doing now. I think you just need to go check them out. So my wife and I went back there, and you were right. I mean, their beers were solid. They had a Belgian triple. They had an IPA. They had a couple of seltzers that my wife got to have, and they seemed to know what they were doing. And I'm really excited that Odd Story, especially since it's right down the road from Hutton and Smith. So once you're finished drinking at Hutton Smith, you can literally just walk next door to Odd Story Brewing.
Yeah.
It's a good location and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's an awesome happening little beeratorium. They because they got a pretty massive tap wall too, and it's all mostly their beer. So
yeah.
If not all their beer.
It is all their beer, actually. Yeah. Last time, when we went, it was all their beer. I don't think I didn't see any guest taps at the time.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That whole place. Chattanooga's, they're not as, I guess they're not as heavily craft beered as Nashville at all, or even Knoxville from the last encounter we had in Knoxville. But it was just, I'm hoping I see more in Chattanooga, because that's always a fun town that you can just walk around in. It's small enough where craft breweries just make sense in Chattanooga.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're getting there. I mean, we've got, so outside we have Hutton and Smith, we have Odd Story, we have Wanderlinger. That's the IPA that I'm enjoying right now. Heaven and Ale, they've made a really good name for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Chattanooga Brewing Company, which is kind of more of like a, they're the Yazoo of Chattanooga, so to speak.
Right.
Mad Night Brewing Company. I went there, and that is an interesting place. It is a very Mitch, you've been to the Green Dragon before. It is a very library-ish, kind of Middle Earth looking place when we walked into Mad Night Brewing Company, and the guy there was just he was trying his hardest. He really was. I can't say that I fell in love with the beers there, but I didn't dislike them. I feel like he's on to something. I think he just needs to like keep pushing at it, and he's gonna hit something. But everything there was like real quirky. There were just one-offs, and he was just brewing, and it was just very grassroots. So I very much appreciate it. But that is one of the newest places in Chattanooga that's brewing, and I think he's going to go places.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a picture from there. Yeah,
Big River, Hutton and Smith, Five Wits, Big Frog Brewing, Naked River Brewing. I had a couple of them. We actually went there. Their logo is a Sasquatch, which was kind of cool, like a Bigfoot.
When you get there too, they're next to a bunch of the. My biggest complaint with Chattanooga is all the paid parking that you have to pay for.
Yeah,
but they're next to one of the biggest lots next to a park and another abandoned building. And as you pull in, you can see smokers, like giant smokers that they're serving some barbecue in. And I didn't get a chance to have any food when I was there last time at Naked River, but they're not, I don't know if you call it a patio, but I'll just call it their front lawn has a bunch of AstroTurf, I think.
Yeah.
Picnic tables. So it's all set up. It's super cozy. And it was kind of goofy when I got there because I was meeting my brother, and they're super helpful. And I told them, oh yeah, I'm here to meet my brother. And the guy behind the counter said, oh, he's outside. I'll take you to him. He took me to a stranger.
He tried, Mitch.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was an empty table. That's right. And he said, oh, I don't know where he went. He must have went to the bathroom or something. That guy came back with his dad, and they were super confused and about confronting me because I mean mug when I'm solo. So it was.
It was not your brother, Mitch.
It was not. No relation. So I ended up giving the table back. I was like, oh, no problem, man. I've got my beers, and I took the menu with me after they said they didn't need it. But then they slowly approached me and were like, can we have that menu again? Yeah, man.
I'm a nice person.
Yeah, take it. I don't need it anymore.
I don't need this menu.
So it was an awkward encounter, but it was fun. And they were nothing but accommodating there. It was cool.
That's great.
I love being able to watch traffic go by where they've placed their little outdoor picnic area. So. Mad Night. I need to go there. Definitely.
it's an interesting one. It's very hard to find. It's in the basement of this existing building that is not labeled. You know, you're driving around. We drove around for 10 minutes trying to find a place to park, and we finally found this little sticker on the door that said Mad Night Brewing Company down in the basement of this like little ass building. And I was like, okay, so like our next step was trying to find a place to park, and you know, we finally found a place and we walked in, and it was interesting. They had everything from, I don't know, it's on the wall. They had one of those, you know, in case of emergency break glass type of boxes, and inside it was a 6-pack of Three Stooges beer. Like, it was really weird. And then there was an airplane life jacket, like with the little red blow up valve on the side, like hanging up on the wall. And just like weird collectibles just kind of like hanging out everywhere. They had like magazines from the 80s, just like in 70s, just sitting on the tables.
I like it.
It was really quirky, and I got super excited when I walked in, because I was like, I have a feeling that this guy is going to be like, yeah, we're weird as fuck, but here's a really good beer, Smitch. And they were okay. I think, like I said, I think he's still trying to catch his stride. I think he's going to be doing good things in the future. I definitely wasn't disappointed.
Welcome to the Mad Night. Coming to the Drunken. I see the building on Google Maps here, and they've got a big old, at least at this point in time when they took a picture, a sign on the side of the abandoned brick wall surfaces or whatever. It's just like, yo, we're right around here.
Here's this building. We're around the back and downstairs.
I need a big old metal knight out there.
Yeah, we do.
Holding like a halberd with the flag of the Mad Knight. That'd be
Heck
fun.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Man,
how's your beer treating you though?
It's good. It's refreshing. You know, I haven't ate a whole lot today, so the 4%'s working out for me.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pleasant, man. It's not sour enough to make me hate it, and it's tart enough that I enjoy it. So, it's weird. I don't like ciders. So a lot of sours that are palate-like to a cider, or sours that are like a cider, I don't know. There's something weird that happens that my palate just refuses to drink sometimes. But I don't think I've had a Goza that I've not liked, you know, like where I just wouldn't drink it. I have had a sour that I wouldn't drink. Oh my God. But I can't remember the name of it. It had a super black metal label to it though. It was one of those
story, beer share of some sort.
Yeah, dude. It was when Yazoo did its first Funk Fest, and Boss and I took a business trip over to Yazoo and bottled shared our asses off with everybody. Brought beers to share. It didn't matter what it was, but a lot of people brought their funk beers, and not all of it's good.
Yeah,
you really do have to work your way up to some of them, I believe. But yeah,
tart and sour is one thing, but when you start getting into funky beers, that's a whole new ball game. That's not something I'm willing to mess with. Tart I can handle. Sour is something that I'm still trying to kind of get used to, and I don't know if I will ever be able to.
Right? Yeah.
Funky, that's just not my style. I can't do it.
You know what I've been craving this whole week? Thunderbird wings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God, some Thunderbird wings would be really good right about now, Mitch.
Man, if I could just get a pack of 6 thighs,
yeah,
I would love it. But, you know, the whole deal with, you know, that is you got to order a platter. So,
I'm good for half.
Yeah. We need to do that again sometime and check out, do another Casa de Montecristo thing.
Hell yeah.
Because once it starts cooling off, that'll be perfect. But man, I've been craving those Thunderbird thighs for a while now. I really I want some Zilla brisket. I want Thunderbird thighs, and then I want that poblano mac and cheese
Mac
from
and cheese from
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
And I want B's Pit Barbecue or whatever. I don't know his food yet, but I did place an order for this
nice
from him and Zilla.
Nice.
And I'll be getting his beans with brisket in it.
Ooh, okay.
I think that's what it was. So I'm really looking forward to it. So it's Atlanta and Tennessee, combining forces at Living Waters this weekend.
That's amazing. I love that, man. I love seeing small local businesses come together. And I know Zilla's been, doing a lot of work with bees and they've been posting a lot of each other's stuff on there. So I might actually go and check it out, because I'll be, I'll have some time this Saturday. I may go and see what's up. So you and I will have to sync up and see if that's something that we're going to do. Because I love Atlanta barbecue. I love the Atlanta lifestyle, and I love Atlanta barbecue. So anytime I can get some of that, and then you mix it with big perms, style of brisket, I'm down.
So it's B's Crackling Barbecue from Atlanta.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. This is gonna be good. So
yeah,
I don't know if you haven't had barbecue before, shame on you.
Right.
But don't go get wits.
Yeah, go get something good, Mitch.
Yes. They've been steering you wrong.
Yes.
Unless you like bland food that you have to pour vinegar over to feel any soul in it.
Oh.
And not even then, you don't even feel.
Right.
I shouldn't have said soul. It's just dead.
Yeah, it's dead barbecue.
You need some brisket in your life, and you need some like real good smoked pork barbecue and everything.
We've had an opportunity to get through our beers before. Today we've had a good session and be able to just kind of chill out and relax. I had a whole crowler of Parrot's Revenge from Wanderlinger Brewing Company, and I enjoyed that to the fullest. I would actually probably rate this beer a 4 out of 5. Like, it is that good. It's hazy, it's juicy, it's hoppy, it's bitter, it's everything in one. And I'm really glad that I got a chance to bring some of this home with me. I wish I just had more, Mitch.
Yeah, I wish I had a whole. I really want to just find a lot to dig a cellar into. And that way, wherever we go, we can just stock up on stuff, drop it in there, and then you've got a stockpile you can always pull from,
Well, closing remarks on your Living Waters and No Quarter collaboration.
Yeah, it's great. I think the vanilla really helped it, in my opinion. It gives a nice little sweetness at the end that's kind of smooth, and it leaves a little bit of I don't want to say resin, but there's a little bit of something left on my tongue that's not heavy, but you can kind of tell. Like, if you've ever had a bearded Irish beer before, it's something that rests on the back there.
Okay.
So I really enjoy whatever he's done. So, it's awesome. I'm enjoying every little drop of it. So
that's awesome. Did you get a 4-pack?
I did. This might be my last Fitzgerald, actually.
Nice. So you've had the other ones before, so you didn't hate it. That was good.
Yeah.
Liked it.
Last weekend I did photo shots, just working in the studio, testing equipment, seeing what I could pull off with what I got. And Fitzgerald was one of the beers, Zombie Dust, like all sorts of IPAs, and Goza is all I had. Speaking of, we have a couple at some point when we can meet up at a table. I think I've got 3 now beers that we need to try, and they all use koji.
Nice.
So you've got hazy IPAs, and then you've got hazy IPAs with koji, which is if you've ever had unfiltered sake, that it's the rice particles or granules in there, the super fine particulates. So we've got one, I think one was brewed with koji, then it steps up and adds koji to a hazy, and then a double, and then actually there might be 4 if I still have it, if I didn't drink it. And then there's a koji one where it's super cloudy, dude. I'll send you a picture, and the light from the refrigerator, when it just shines on the bottle, it looks like a storm head cloud.
That's awesome.
So cloudy. So We got some
forward to
unfiltered.
those.
Yeah, we got a lot of unfiltered drink to get through on that. It'll be a good day.
And we've got some, we're not going to, I guess we don't want to give away too much right now, but we've got some exciting interviews coming up. And we've got one that we're trying to shoot for next week, or at some point we're going to get a chance to record, and got coming away, coming the way of the foamy heads, Mitch. I'm really excited about some of the stuff coming up.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to talking to people and getting more engaged with the beers, the people behind the beers that we drink. So we'll do more reach out. And if you're listening and know somebody that we should talk to, hit us up at thefoamyheads@gmail.com, or hit us on the Instagram. Just send a message there. We'll both see it. So, we're up to talk to anybody, really. So happy hours would be fun. Thursdays, Fridays, maybe. We'll see.
Any day of the week that ends in Y.
Pretty much. So
that's awesome. I'm excited. I know we're excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. If you're not drinking beer, start drinking beer. If you're drinking craft beer, keep drinking craft beer. And if you've never had craft beer before, then branch out, try to find something local, support your local guys. We keep pounding this over time and time again. This pandemic is kind of hurting everybody. So spend your money locally and support your local breweries. And we'll keep doing the same. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Cheers.